Greetings. Michael Didier here. We are continuing our journey through Torah. We are on our 52nd week, and we're only to Genesis 36. Today, we're going to finish Genesis 36. We're going to read the appropriate portion in Yasher about this. And I think you're going to be surprised at what we find out. We left off last week. I was going to say something else, but I'm going to hold off on it for just a moment. We, 2 weeks ago, saw after the incident at Shechem where Simeon and Levi slaughtered all the men, more than 600 men that they killed. They did take some captives, some young men and some virgins captives, but they pretty much killed all the men. Some of the ladies were still alive, grieving in the city when the rest of the Amalekites, Canaanites, well, you could say Canaanites, you kind of include everybody, but Perizzites are not Canaanites. There are other people who are in the land, but part of those people. They were going to go after Jacob and his seed, 10,000 of them. And we saw that their counselors, thanks to the prayer of Isaac and Jacob, were turned away from going after the sons. Keep in mind, the sons were, I think that Simeon and Levi were 12 and 13. The rest of the sons were as young as 8 years old. But they were turned away because they remembered all the things that happened to Abraham, went through all that really interesting stuff, a lot of stuff we covered in Yasher. They don't cover this at all in Torah. So now we went from, where did we leave off even the week before that? We left off with, should they treat our sister? We talked off with what happened in Shechem the week before. Last week then, we started with them going to Bethel. And this was all the things that happened in Bethel last week. It talked about, briefly, what we spent 2 chapters in Yasher about, and they journeyed, and the terror of Elohim was upon the cities that were all around them, and they did not pursue Jacob's seed. We spent a whole week on that verse alone. We saw that Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died during this time period. We saw that Rebekah also died. We didn't see it in Torah, but we saw it in Yasher. Also died. We saw that Laban also died because he had violated the covenant that he had made with Jacob. Okay, let's drop down. Reuben went into Bilhah. And all it said was Israel heard about it. What happened when Israel heard about it? I think it's interesting they called him Israel. Then it talked about his sons, his seed. And they talked about Leah's seed. A woman doesn't have a seed. But bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh, you can work it out as her having seed. But we're talking about the seed of Jacob. Here it is, verse 35, the seed of Jacob right here. And it finishes with exactly the same thing, the seed of Jacob. But it talks about Rachel's seed, Leah's seed, Bilhah's seed, Zilpah's seed. Then it says, and Jacob came to his father, Isaac. No, that's Carissa. I'm not going to talk to her right now. Then it says, Jacob came to his father Isaac at Mamre. So he finally got to Mamre. This is after 6 months in Hebron. Not Hebron. What did I just say? That was Bethel. But from verse 27, 35, 27, him coming to Hebron, and it says the very next verse, now the days of Isaac were 180 years. That is the difference between 20 years. What happened between those 20 years? You know, you just don't understand it. You got to figure out the timeline. When Jacob left Haran after being there 20 years, he was 97 years old. He got to Shechem when he was about 97, a little bit, maybe 97 and a half. He was there for 2 years. Now he's 100. When he gets to Hebron to see his dad. So he's with his dad for 20 years. We don't see that in Torah because we don't know the timeline. You know, I'm going to talk about it in just a second. We've got to dig deeper. Don't set your theology, don't base your theology on one stinking verse. It's going to get you in trouble. You've got to dig deeper. So now, the last verse we read said, so Isaac breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people, being old and full of days. And his sons, Esau and Jacob, buried him. Well, we're going to see that when they split up the dad's property, Esau took all the stuff. Jacob took the promise, the land, and the seed. That's all he took. And the cave at Machpelah. That's all he took. The land and the sea. And they didn't know the land, really. But they're going to. Yehovah's going to fulfill his word. Today, we're starting with the seed of Esau. Oh my goodness. You will not believe the perversion that is in this chapter. Oh, it's awful. Probably one of the very worst chapters in Torah. You know, I put here on the right, it says, many believe that every word of God is true. That's how they say it. Every word of God is true. Don't you know? Most people don't even know what the words of Elohim are. They don't know. He even sounded like this. If anyone speaks, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. Those are the words that Yehovah spoke. Thus says Yehovah, speak to my son Israel and say to them. Those are his words. The prophets say the same thing. Thus says Yehovah. Those are his words. And for the most part, those words are accurate. But there's a lot of commentary in the Torah that isn't necessarily Yehovah's words. They're commentary. So, he says, if anyone speaks, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If anyone ministers, let him do it let him do it as with the ability which Elohim supplies. That all things Elohim may be, that in all things Elohim may be glorified. Well, the rest of that verse is totally perverted. That's what the New Testament always does. Who gave us the New Testament? We're going to find that out here soon. We're going to find out a lot of things as time goes by. This is going to be a very interesting year. I put not I shouldn't say even. Not all the words of Torah are accurate. And we will see many errors today. Torah many times contradicts itself. Truth is found line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. Only those who diligently seek actually find the truth. We have got to be diggers, seekers. You know, that's what's happening right now in the world. There's a lot of people digging in to what's going on with government-related things. There's a lot of diggers. And they're coming up with some really interesting things that's revealing the truth of what's been going on in the world. But we don't have the same attitude with Jehovah's Word. So they're stuck in their dang New Testament, which has replaced Jehovah's Word and ways. And we don't know the way that leads to life, which is found in Passover. Verse. Now this is the genealogy of Esau, who is Edom. How interesting. Esau is Edom. What does Edom mean? I pulled from Hitchcock Dictionary, and they say Edom is red, earthy, of blood. I thought, oh, of blood. That's interesting. It makes me wonder if Edom, Esau's people, the man of the flesh involved of blood, might be the origins of the Khazarians. Is that a possibility? Where is the rod of Elohim? No, I take it back. Not the rod of Elohim. Where are the garments that came from Adam and Eve, Adam and Hava, that Esau stole from Nimrod, who is going to be the ruler of the earth, was the ruler of the earth? Is it possible that they went to the Khazarians or the Catholic Church? Are we going to find those garments in the Catholic Church? Are we going to find them in one of the families, with one of the 13 families, perhaps? I got a hunch those garments are still around. Well, Edom, there's a bunch of words. Look at this. This is the word that they use. Strong uses. And it is Edom. Same word as Adam. Except for, if you look at on the one, there's on the left, it's Adam. A, Aleph, Dalet, Mem. But on the right, it's Aleph, Dalet, Vav, Mem. And that's in this verse how they use Edom. But it comes from this verse, Adam. And this verse, Adam. When we talk about a man, these are men. Men. When we talk about an Adam, a man who is not an Ezra man, not Israel's seed, or a Ger, we're talking about an Adam. But when we're talking about a man who is Israel's seed, we're almost always talking about an Ish. Interesting. There's little clues. Here's Ish. H376. It's a man. An individual man. They say a male person. They don't make it so you understand it in light of how it's always used. It's a shame. It's a shame. And you'll find that if you will follow through, do a study on what I'm talking about right now, you'll see that. Well, that's just the first verse. And I think it's interesting that it says Esau, who is Edom. Here it says Esau, who is Edom. It finishes by saying Esau, who is Edom. Esau, the father of the Edomites. Do you think maybe they're trying to tell us something? I think so. Here's the second verse. Perversion from the get-go. It says Esau took his wives from the daughters of Canaan. Did he take his wives from the daughter of Canaan? No, he didn't take his wives from the daughter of Canaan. He took 3 of his wives from the daughter of Canaan. One of them came from Ishmael. He's not a Canaanite. So that's wrong. Then it says Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. Well, in a sense, Adah is the daughter of Elon the Hittite. But Basmith is also the daughter of Elon the Hittite. Let me go through my notes here. He marries, in Torah, it says that he marries Judith, his first wife, the daughter of Bari. I put C-topic note, Esau's wives, and the note on verse 3, the verse we're going to go through right now. Here, my next right here, it says Yehudith and Bathmith were supposedly the daughters who Esau took from Canaan when he was 40. In reality, he took Yehudith at that time. He did not take Bathmith at that time, even though Torah says that he did. Verse 26, 34, when Esau was 40 years old, he took as wives Judith, the daughter of Bari, and Bathmith, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. Well, he's going to take them, but he's taking them at different times. He took one at 40, he took the next one at 63. We just don't see it. Here, this is Yasher. No, let me finish reading the rest of the verse. So it says, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. Then he says, Aholivamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite. And that is absolutely correct. And then it says, Bathmith, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nabaioth. Perversion again. So, here is Aholivamah. Yasher leaves out the O. I think the O actually does belong Aholivamah. Otherwise, how do you say it? Doesn't flow well. It says, and in the 6th year, Esau took a woman in addition to his women. He already had 2. He had Judith, he took at 40, Bathmith, he took at 63, and now Aholivamah, actually he had 3 in addition to his other wives. He had 3 wives. She's his 4th wife. Aholivamah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite. And Esau brought her to the land of Canaan. They all went to the land of Canaan at one point or another. They are gone before Esau gets there when Jacob gets there when he's 100. So he took, I think he took Aholivamah around, I want to say 85. And she bore some sons, here they are, and Aholivamah conceived and bore unto Esau 3 sons, Yahush, Ya'alan, and Korah. These were the sons of Aholivamah, Esau's wife, the daughter of Anah. This is in verse 36, the one we're in right now. And it confirms what it said here in Yasher. This is correct. Now, in Yasher 28, it says, Esau there saw in the land of Esau a daughter of a man of Canaan. I'm reading right here, you guys. And her name was Yehudith, the daughter of Bari, the son of Epher, from the family of Heth. Bari, a Hittite. Hittite is a son of Heth. If you're a Hittite, you're a son of Heth. The son of Canaan. So they're Canaanites. Esau took her for a woman, and he came unto her. 40 years old was Esau when he took her, and he brought her to Hebron, the land of his father's dwelling place, and he dwelt there. Now, look what it says here. It says, and in the 5th year died Yehuda, the daughter of Bari. I don't know what it was, the 5th year of what. I don't remember. The point is this. The daughter of Bari, the woman of Esau, in the land of Canaan. And she had no sons, but daughters only. This is why, when we're talking about the genealogy of Esau, it doesn't even mention Yehudith. You got to ask these kind of questions. Why is she not mentioned? She certainly was one of his wives. Well, this one doesn't talk about Bosmeth yet. We're talking about Bosmeth in the next verse. We're talking about Adah right now. And I guess I need to show you this verse because we're talking about Adah. Who's Adah? And when Esau saw, this is Yasher 29:12 on the right. I'm right here again. And when Esau saw that Jacob had fled and escaped from him, this is after Jacob got the blessing, Esau was ticked. Was this 63? Yes, 63. Saw that Jacob got the blessing. And Jacob had cunningly obtained the blessing. Then Esau grieved exceedingly. And he was also vexed at his father and his mother. And he rose up and he took his wife, not more than one wife, he only has Yehuda right now. He took his wife and went away from his father and mother to the land of Seir, where he found Yehuda. And he dwelt there. And Esau saw there a woman from amongst the daughters of Het. She was a Hittite, whose name was Bosmeth, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. And that's exactly what it said in Genesis. Elon the Hittite, Bosmeth, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and took her took her for a woman in addition to his first wife. She's his second wife. And Esau called her name Adah. Bosmeth is Adah. They're one and the same, saying the blessing had at this time passed from him. He took Bosmeth right after he, lost the blessing, and he renamed her Adah because the blessing had passed from him. It's kind of his reminder. She took her in 63. He was 63. Now he's 65. He's going to have Eliphaz. And in those days, Adah, the wife of Esau, conceived and bare a son. And Esau called his name of his son that was born unto him Eliphaz. Esau was 65 years old when she bore him. This verse that we're currently in right now, 36:2, is the first time that Adah and Aholibamah are even mentioned in Torah. Aholibamah is going to be his fourth wife. they make it look kind of like she's the second or third wife here. Verse 3, talking about Badmeth now. Well, actually, we just went through Yehudith. I don't think I want to go through this portion again. There's a long portion here on, oh, yeah, maybe I should. Please forgive me if I'm a little bit redundant. It's really important that we understand the sequence of events. I've tried to put these verses in the very best possible order that I could so that we can understand the flow of what's going on. I've got 40 is Esau marries Yehudith. Esau is 40 years old. Not mentioned here because she did not bear sons. So that's why she's not mentioned in 2 or 3 of this chapter. Yehudith and Badmeth were supposedly the daughters of Esau. Supposedly the daughters of Esau. Oh, supposedly the daughters who Esau took from the daughters of Canaan. They're both daughters of Canaan. Yes, that's true. When he was 40. But in reality, he only took Yehudith at that time. This is what Torah said. It was wrong. Here is Yasher. Look what it says here about Badmeth. And Ishmael took a woman from the land of Egypt. I'm reading here. And her name was Ribah. This is talking about Ishmael. Ishmael, Isaac's kind of stepbrother. And her name was Ribah. This is his second wife. The same as Meribah. Oh, maybe this was the first wife. And Ribah bore unto Ishmael Nebayot, Kedar, Advel, Mivsam, and their sister Badmeth. This is Yasher. It's wrong. It's wrong. Unless we're talking about a different Badmeth, but I don't think we are. Because he didn't have a daughter named Badmeth. He had a daughter named, well, we're going to see it here in just a second. Makalat is her name. Now, it says, Esau there saw in the land of Seir a man of Canaan, and her name was Yehudith, the daughter of Beri. This is the first wife. He's 40 years old, son of Ever, of the family of Het. He's a Hittite, the son of Canaan. And Esau took her for a woman and came unto her. 40 years old was Esau when he took her, and he brought her to Hebron, to his father's house, the land of his father's dwelling place, and dwelt there. So this is the first wife. Now he's going to take another wife. He's going to bring her back home. Esau marries Badmeth, a.k.a. Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, another Hittite, or a daughter of Het. Heth. This is Heth. Ket really is what it says, Ket. It's a hard sound. It says here in Yasher, and when Esau saw that Jacob had fled and escaped from him, this is after the blessing, that Jacob had cunningly obtained the blessing, that Esau grieved exceedingly. And he was also vexed at his father and his mother, and he also rose up and took his woman, one woman, and went away from his father and mother to the land of Seir. And he dwelt there, and Esau saw there a woman from among the daughters of Het. There it is again, Ket, a Hittite, whose name was Badmeth, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. This is where Badmeth comes from. And he also took her for his wife in addition to his first wife, Yehudith. And Esau called her name Adah, saying the blessing had passed from him. Now, here in verse 3, it says she's the daughter of Nebayot, Ishmael's daughter, the sister of Nebayot, rather, Ishmael's daughter. But Yasher says that Badmeth is the daughter of Ishmael. And Ishmael, But yes, it does. It does say that she is. I don't need to say but. Yasher also says that Basmath is the daughter of Ishmael. We read it. This is the first time Adah is mentioned in Torah. But remember, Basmath is Adah. Basmath and Adah are the same person. Yasher 29:12, I've read already more than once, 29:12, I'm not going to read it again, says that this is when he took her, 63. Now, 77. This is after the blessing. No. This is when Rebekah, at 63, the blessing was given to Jacob instead of Esau. Jacob ran away to Shem and Eber. Now Shem has died, and Rebekah asked Jacob to come home. Jacob came home at 77, and Esau tried to kill him. He ran away. They sent him to Haran at 77. Remember, that's when he arrived in Haran. He's going to work for Laban for 7 years, and at age 84, he's going to marry the girls, week apart. So we're talking now about Makalat. He went away. He saw that his father said, I want you to marry somebody who's not from the land of Canaan, or not from one of Canaan's daughters. They hated the Canaan's daughters. And Esau heard that. He had already married 2 of them, Yehudah and Basmath, a.k.a. Adah. Esau saw that the daughters of Canaan did not please his father Isaac. So Esau went to Ishmael and took Makalat, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebaioth. Look at this. This is in Torah 28, 8 through 10. To be his wife in addition to the women. He already had 2. Now Jacob went out from Beersheba and went towards Haran. This is when Esau is going to send Eliphaz, now 13, after Jacob to kill him. He doesn't kill him. He robs him instead, leaves him with his clothes and the rod of Elohim. It goes on. Then Esau went to the house of Ishmael, his uncle. And in addition, this is in Yasher now, confirming what we just read in Torah. And in addition to his older wives, he had 2. He took Makalat, the daughter of Ishmael, the sister of Nebaioth, for a woman. Now, 83. What is that? 70, about 15 years later. 16 years later. 77. No, 77, 83, 5 years later. 6 years later. He's going to marry Aholibamah. Or let's put an O in there too. Yasher leaves it off. Esau marries Aholibamah. Here it is. And they have Aholibamah perfect in here. And when Yehudah died, maybe this is when Yehudah was dying, right in this time period. Esau rose up and went to Seir to hunt in the field. He was living at his father's house. He went to hunt in the field, and Esau dwelt in the land of Seir for a long time. And then the 6th year, Esau took a woman in addition to his other women, Aholibamah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite. And Esau brought her to the land of Canaan, and Aholibamah conceived and bare unto Esau 3 sons. And here they are, got it right in chapter 5, or verse 5, Yahush, Ya'alam, and Korah. Exactly what it says here in Yasher. Verse, what are we on? That was verse 3. Let's go to verse 4. Adah, look at this, you guys. Oh my gosh. Adah bore Eliphaz to Esau. Badmeth bore Reuel. Badmeth is Adah. And she bore both boys. Torah gets it wrong every time. Here is Yasher. I put Eliphaz 65. Esau's firstborn his first son is born from Badmeth, aka Adah. Here's what it says. And in those days, Adah, the wife of Esau, conceived and bore a son, and Esau called his name, the name of his son that was born unto him, Eliphaz. And Esau was 65 years old when she bore him. Now, Yasher 36. We're going to read this today. And these are the generations of Esau that were born to him in the land of Canaan. The seed of Esau were 5. This is perfect, the way this is written. Adah bore to Eliphaz, Adah bore Esau his firstborn Eliphaz, and she also bore to him Reuel. Aholibamah bore to him the 3 sons, and it's perfect. This is the way it should be. Confusion, confusion, confusion. Don't tell me every word of Torah is correct. We will find and have found so many mistakes, so many. It says one thing here, it says another thing there. Contradictions. They're everywhere. You've got to dig deeper. Let's continue with our story. These are the sons of Esau who were born to him in the land of Canaan. They were all born to him in the land of Canaan. When he took Aholibamah, he brought her back to his family in Haran, where his father was at. It says, then Esau took his women, his sons, his daughters. Never talked about daughters. We know he had daughters because we know that Yahudith had at least 2 daughters. And all the persons of his household, that would probably be his servants, his cattle, all his animals, all his goods, which he had gained in the land of Canaan, and went to a country away from the presence of his brother Jacob. Oh, was his brother Jacob there at that time? Maybe they were together for a short time. But how does that work? When he came from Haran at 97, his brother was living in Seir. Did his brother come back to his house? Well, and during the 20 years that Jacob was living with his father Isaac, I guess it's a possibility. Seems to be, maybe that's the case. And went to the country away from the presence of his brother Jacob. For their possessions, he and his brother's possessions probably, for their possessions were too great for them to dwell together. And the land where they were in the land where they were strangers, probably is more apropos, could not support them. No, I guess, and the land where they were strangers could not support them because of their livestock. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So Esau dwelt in Mount Seir. Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And this is the genealogy of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. Later on in Torah, we're going to see Esau's seed. We're going to see Seir, the Horites' seed here. But eventually, as we move through Yasher, we're going to see that Esau's seed is going to kill all of Seir, the Horites' seed, and take all the land for himself. That's what Esau's like. So, verse 10. Well, what do we have? Verse 9 on the deal here. Okay, just talking about the genealogy. I'll say here. These were the names of Esau's sons. Eliphaz. Does it again. Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau, the woman of Esau, and Reuel, the son of Bathmith, the wife of the woman of Esau. Bathmith is Adah. Period. The sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Katam, and Kanaz. Zepho is going to be the future king of Katim, which is going to become Rome. Isn't that interesting? That is a son of Eliphaz. A son of Eliphaz. Well, look what else comes from Eliphaz. The next verse. Now Timnah was the concubine of Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bore Amalek to Eliphaz. These were the sons of Adah, Esau's woman. Again, same person, Adah, Bathmith, they're the same person. In fact, this thing should have been in that color to let us know that something is wrong here. Here is Timnah. Where does Timnah come from? And the children of Lotan, we're going to see that that is going to be a son of Seir, the Horite, in just a moment. And the seed of Lotan were Hori, Heman, and their sister Timnah. That is the Timnah who came to Jacob and his sons, and they would not give her ear. And she went and became a concubine of Eliphaz, the son of Esau, and she bore to him Amalek. But she wasn't his sister, she was his daughter. Where does it say sister? Oh, and their sister. Otan. I'm not sure why I have this note here. I apologize. I should have looked at that more carefully to see why I put it. I don't usually write anything unless I know why I'm putting it there. But I can't explain it right now, so I'm going to ignore it. Again, Bathmith is Adah. These are the sons of Reuel. Nakath, Zerah, Shema, Nizah. These were the sons of Bathmith. Again, Bathmith, Esau's woman, is Adah. Same woman, same note. Bathmith is Adah. 14. And these were the sons of Aholibamah, Esau's woman, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon, which she bore to Esau. Yahush, Aram, and Korah. These were the chiefs of the sons of Esau. The sons of Esau, the firstborn of Esau, were Chief Teman, Chief Omar, Chief Zepho, Chief Kanaz. Listing all the sons, they're all chiefs. You know, they never call Jacob's seed chiefs, do they? Why do they call Esau's seeds chiefs? Is it possible that they're ruling over men? Is that what Yahovah plans? Or does Yahovah plan to have him rule over his men? So they said, these were the sons of Adam. It said exactly the same thing. These were the sons of Raul, Esau's son, chief. These were the sons of Badman's seed, Esau's woman. I always have it and say woman instead of wife. Learn to do that. There's a reason why I do that. It does not say wife. It says woman, Esau's woman. We're going to see there's times where the woman that we're talking about is not necessarily a wife. So I want to train us to think woman, and we can get the understandings that we need just from the context. So it says these were the sons of Aholivamah, Esau's woman, chief Yahush, chief Ya'alam, and chief Korah. Chiefs who descended from Aholivamah, Esau's woman, the daughter of Anan, a daughter of Anan. These were the sons of Esau, who was in Edom. These were their chiefs. Now, we're having a change of gears here. We're going to do the seed of of Sair the Horite. Sair the Horite. Let's understand who we're talking about when we say it's actually Sair, the hard sound or the accent is on the second syllable. Sair, the Korite. Yasher says, and Sair, the son of Kor, that's why they're called Korites, son of Hivi, son of Canaan. She, Aholivamah, no, I take it back. Sair is a son of Hivi, but still a son of Canaan. Went and found a valley opposite Mount Paran, and he built a city there. He and his 7 sons and his household dwelt there. And he called the city which he built Sair, according to his name. That is the land of Sair unto this day. When it says Ha-Korite, that's what we're talking about, the Korite right here. Ha-Kori is what it says. He is the Korite. And translating it as the Korite is perfect. The Korite's seed. Sair, the Korite's seed, is exactly what it says. Very good translation. Yasher says this, and in the 6th year, Esau took a woman in addition to his other women, Aholivamah, the daughter of Zibeon, the Hivite, son of Hivi, son of Canaan. Esau brought her to the land of Canaan. So he brought her back home for a time. She had 3 sons while she was there. These were the sons of Zibeon, both Ajah and Anah. This is the Anah who found the water. Oh, the water. Is this where we're at right now? Anah. I guess we got to go down a little bit further here. I think I'm going to have that same verse, 36:28, 36:24. 36:24. Oh, look at that. We're both 24. I may have to come back to this. Horite. Really, Korite is what it says. Korite seems to be used synonymally with Hivite. A Korite is a Hivite. Not all Hivites are Korites. Let's say it that way. Kor is transliterated as whore, and kor, it's hard and it's soft. It depends on who translates it. Is where the word Korite or Horite comes from. It is because of the vowels and even the consonants change depending on who's how it's transliterated. In this context, Korite is also but not is consult. I'm sorry. In this context, a Korite is also I don't know what I was going to say, but not all. Here we go. Korite is also Hivite. Is a Hivite, but not all Hivites are Korites. That's what we want to say. All right, last verse here. But from time to time, Esau would go and see his father and mother in the land of Canaan. And Esau intermarried with the Korites. This is what he's doing when he married Aholibah. And he gave his daughters to the sons of Seir, the Horites. Remember, he had 2 daughters that we know of from Yehudith. Got use out of his daughters, used them to make a covenant with the natives of that land. Let's continue. So we were talking about the sons of Seir, the Horites, who inhabited that land. Lotan, Shovel, Zivian, Anah, Dishan, Ezer, and Dishon, and Dishan. These were the chiefs of the Korites, Seir's seed in the land of Edom. They're calling it the land of Edom, even though it was the land of Seir at this time. Thinking in the future here. The sons of Lotan, so now we're talking about his sons. We're going to go Lotan, Shovel, Zivian, Anah, Dishon, Ezer, and Dishan. And so we're doing Lotan. We're Hori and Hamam. Lotan's sister was Timnah. This is where Timnah came from. She is going to be Eliphaz's woman who's going to birth Amalek. And that's where the Amalekites come from. These were the sons of Shovel, second born. 4 sons, 5 sons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sons of Zibeon, here they are. But now look at Zibeon. This is very interesting because it says this were Zibeon's seed, both Ayah, and Anah. This was the Anah who found the water in the wilderness as he pastured the donkeys of his father, Zibeon. Oh, water? Is that what he found? Look at what he found, actually. You know, years ago when I read this, I didn't know what was going on in the world at the time. So I tended to just run over this thinking, oh, this is foolishness. What is this? We're going to see it today. I'm sorry, this may be going a little bit longer. Yasher's going to be much shorter. This is not about finding water. He didn't find water in the wilderness. Is there something being covered up here? Look what it actually says in Yasher. The sons of Yobel's seed were Avan, Manakat, Ebel, Shevel, Shepho, and Oman. The sons of Zibeon were Ayah and Anah. This is the Anah who found the Yamim, not the water, the Yamim in the wilderness, when he fed the asses of Zibeon, his father. What is the word for water? Shamim? This is Zamim. Yamim. Wait till we see. We're going to read about this. Read the rest of the story in Yasher. These are creatures who are coming out of the dums even now. We're seeing creatures coming out of the dums. Maybe you don't even know what a dum is. Deep underground military base. There is shenanigans going on there. The same kinds of things that were going on, merging one creature with another creature, two different kinds together to get a third kind. Before Yehovah destroyed the world with a great flood. This is what's going on right now in our land. And there are creatures like this coming out of those dumps. People see them. I've seen pictures of them. We'll talk about it in a moment. Let's go to verse 25. And these were the children of Anah. I'm not going to go through that again. Anah. Deshaun. Anah. We heard about Anah. Remember, Aholibamah is the daughter of Anah, the son of Sair. All right. He took her for himself, like another covenant. These were the sons of Dishan, the sons of Ezra, the son of Dishan. Again, called them all chiefs. Now these were the kings who reigned in the land of Edom. Again, this is a transition. Before any king reigned over Israel's seed. So these are the kings. We're talking about the kings of Edom, who reigned in the land of Edom before any of Israel's seed. We'll be brief with these, but I want to point out something important. Esau, Edom, rebelled against Jehovah's ways and chose kings who were foreigners, not ones who were among their brethren. You know what? That is very significant. Yehovah said, here it says, and the king whom Yehovah chooses always comes from among the brethren. Esau always set kings over them who were not from among the brethren. Here it is. When you come into the land which Jehovah your Elohim is giving you, and possess it, and dwell in it, and say, I will set a king over me, and let all the nations that are around, like all the nations who are around me, you shall surely set a king over you, whom Jehovah your Elohim chooses, one from among your brethren. You shall set as king over you, but you shall not set a foreigner over you who is your brethren. Esau is doing this, in a sense, in Jehovah's face. I can't even say the word. Well, here are the kings. Bela, the son of Beor, reigned in Edom. The name of his city was Dinhabah. Dinhabah is not part of Edom or Sair. Now, Yovav, maybe Basra. He reigned in Basra in his place. Basra, that could be Temanites. I have to think about this. I might be, because look at, do we have any sons named Basra? We do have a son named Teman. I know I saw a Teman up here somewhere. Where did we see that? I don't see it now. Oh, there, Teman. There, Teman. Were they Temanites? Temanites would come from Teman. Maybe they did come from the brethren. Is that possible? Let's keep an eye on that. Yovab died. Husham, the land of the Temanites, reigned in his place. And Hashan died, and Hadad, the son of Bedad, I just don't see these guys, who attacked Midian in the field of Moab. We're going to talk about all these kings in Yasher. They're all going to talk about, we're going to see what happened. Very interesting stuff. Your Torah leaves it out completely. Reigned in his place, and the name of the city was Avith. When Hadad died, Semla of Mesrakah reigned in his place. And Samlah died, and Saul of Rakovot by the river reigned in his place. And Saul died, and Bahanan, the son of Achor, reigned in his place. And Belhanan, son of Achor, died. Hagar reigned in his place. And the name of his city was Pau. His wife's name was Mekatava, the daughter of Matred. But look what it says. The daughter of Matred, the daughter of Mezbah, Mezakav. Metred, the daughter of Mezakav. How come it doesn't say the daughter of Metred, the son of Mezakav? How come it says Metrod, the daughter of Mezakav? Are we using a woman's genealogy in Esau as we do in the Jewish nation, the Khazarian nation right now? They always use the woman's lineage rather than the man's lineage. What's up with this? These were the names of the chiefs of Esau. According to their families, there are places by their names. Look at Chief Timnah. That's the woman. That's the daughter of, I forget who he is, but the wife of Eliphaz. And here's Aholibamah, Chief Aholibamah. Is that a woman? Do we have women chiefs in Edom like we do in the United States? Look what it says. This is what Yehovah says. My people are oppressed by infants, babies. Allah, Olah, sucklings, and women will rule over them. My people will rule over them, oh my people. Those who lead you cause you to err and destroy the way of your paths. When we're talking about infants, we're talking about immature. Here it is, infants. One who still takes milk. Sucklings. Children. Oppressed by children. Is that what's going on here? I have a note on this one. Yeah, I did have a note on this one. You know, I looked up this word to see if this was a man or a woman. Metzakav. I did find it, but it says exactly the same thing. The daughter of Metrod, the daughter of Metzakav. And this was in Chronicles. So it said exactly the same thing. The daughter of, not the son of. You just don't see that in Torah. So we finished by naming all the chiefs. These were the chiefs of Edom according to their dwelling places in the land of their possession. Esau was the father of the Edomites. Now, let me switch over to this, and I want to go through this as quickly as I can. This, for the most part, is very good. And his brother Esau, and his sons, and all belonging to him went to the land of Seir. This is what we were just reading about at the end of the last verse. And dwelt there last week, and had possession in the land of Seir. And Esau's seed were fruitful. Fruitful. How does Esau's seed fruitful? That doesn't even make sense. Why do they say fruitful? He's not fruitful. There's nothing fruitful about Esau. And they multiplied. They did multiply exceedingly in the land of Seir. They had lots of sons, but they weren't fruitful. And these are the generations of Esau that were born to him in the land of Canaan. The sons of Esau were 5. There it is. Adah bore to Esau his firstborn Eliphaz. She also bore Reuel. Esau is Bathmeth. And Aholibamah bore unto him Yahusha, Ya'alam, and Korah. The sons of Esau, Esau's seed, were born to him in the land of Canaan. They were all born in the land of Canaan before they came to Seir. And the sons of Eliphaz, the son of Esau, were Timnah. We don't need to go through these. I'm going to just blast through them. Eliphaz's seed. These are who we're talking about. Eliphaz, Reuel, Yahush, Yalam, and Korah. Here they are. Yahush, Reuel, Yalam, and Korah. Those were the sons. It says, and these are the names of the sons of Seir the Korite, the inhabitants of the land of Seir. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sons. Timnah became Eliphaz's concubine and had Amalek. You know, that's a merging of 2 nations, really. Well, yeah, I'm not even going to say that. Lotan. Lotan's seed were these 2 and their sister Timnah. This is the Timnah who came to Jacob and his sons. I don't know anything about that visit by Timnah to Jacob's sons. That's not in Torah. It's not in Yasher. And they would not give her ear. She went and became the concubine of Eliphaz, the son of Esau, and she bore to him Amalek. There it is, bore to him Amalek. Amalek came to be, and Amalek comes from both Esau and Seir, two nations. The sons of Shobal, the sons of Zibeon. Now, this is the Anah. Remember we were talking about the Anah who found the water in the wilderness? This is what he found. This is the Anah who found the Yamim in the wilderness when he fed the asses of Zibeon, his father. What is a Yamim? They said water in Torah. I think it sounds like a bit of a cover-up. Is it possible that this is a cover-up? And whilst he was feeding his father's asses, he led them to the wilderness at different times to feed them. And there was a day that he brought them to one of the deserts on the seashore opposite the wilderness of the people. And whilst he was feeding them, this would be probably the Salt Sea, which was called the Salt Sea then. I forget what it was called. While he was feeding them, behold, a very heavy storm came from the other side of the sea and rested upon the asses that were feeding there. And they all stood still. Now look what happens. And afterwards, about 120 great and terrible animals came out of the wilderness at the other side of the sea. And they all came to the place where the asses were. And they placed themselves there. And those animals, from their middle downward, were in the shape of Adam's seed. And from the middle upward, some had the likeness of bears, some the likeness of kephas, with tails between them, behind them, between their shoulders, reaching down to the earth, like a tail of the Dukchapaka. I don't even know what that is. These animals came and mounted and rode these asses. They took the asses, rode them away, and led them away, and they went away unto this day. And one of the animals approached Anah and smote him with his tail, and then fled from that place. Oh my gosh! Is this what was going on before the flood? Is this what's going on in our own very days? Coming out, these creatures coming out of the dumps? It might be. Oh my gosh. And when he saw, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when I first read this for the first time, I thought, ridiculous. What is this? Now I think, could this be? Not what is this? Could this be? When he saw this work, he was exceedingly afraid for his life. And he fled and escaped to his city. And he related to his sons and his brothers all that had happened to him. And many men went to seek the asses, but could not find them. And Anah, his brothers, went no more to that place from the day following, for they were greatly afraid of their lives. Interesting, isn't it? Did they go into a dump? Did they go into some kind of a cave? Was the water that from the great storm, did that maybe drive them out of the cave? I wonder. This is in the land of Seir. Blood. Oh, there's things going on in the world that we just don't know. So now it says the sons of Anah, the son of Seir. Notice this says the son of Seir because there's a son named Anah who comes from Zibeon right here, but we're talking about the son of Seir, this son. So we're talking about a different son, and they want to point that out. And so that's why they say Anah, the son of Seir. We're Dishon, and his sister Aholibamah. This is the Aholibamah that Esau is going to have for his fourth wife. Dishon's seed were these, Ezra's seed were these, and Dishon's seed were these. These are the families of Seir, the Horite seed, according to their dukedoms in the land of Seir. And Esau and his seed dwelt in the land of Seir, the Horites, the inhabitants of the land, and they had possessions in it and were fruitful. There it is again, fruitful and multiplied accordingly. And Jacob and his seed and all belonging to them dwelt with their father Isaac in the land of Canaan, as Jehovah had commanded Abraham their father. That is the end of this chapter. This went a little bit longer today. I'm so sorry. I think it's really interesting that we talk about these things. Where do all these things come from? Inquiring minds want to know. Well, next week, we're finally here. What happened during the 20 years between Jacob being 100 and his father dying at Jacob being 120? We're going to go 5 years in the future next week. Wait until you see. It puts chills down my body, even as I say this. Wait till you see what these sons of Israel's seed, are like. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Don't miss next week. You guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been great. Catch y'all later.